and it's important. It's important to talk about '08. I think it's always going to be important to talk about '08 when it comes to campaigns, specifically this year, because, and I think a lot of us fell into this trap, myself included. There was this feeling that Barry was a bit of a radical, really lefty guy, essentially because he's black. And I'm telling you, I was guilty of it too. There was just this sense, you just felt it. You just knew this guy was going to do something revolutionary because he didn't look like everybody else. Right. When realistically, if you looked at his credentials, when he was in Chicago community organizing, why wasn't he union organizing? Right. He did come from Harvard and these elite institutions. And guess what? Once he freaking got elected, all he did was empower people from elite institutions. People, he's like, come on. I'm from Harvard. I'm into big ideas, solving things incrementally, of course. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to get my boy Geithner in there. Of course, Larry Summers is cool. These guys are like me. They went to the schools. They're the smartest people. They know everything. So I think it's very instructive, '08. And I think honestly it's why Kamala couldn't get traction there in the primary. It was one of those fool me once, shame on. You fool me twice, can't fool me again. The George W. Bush thing. But I think people have woken up to it. And I think we are very slowly getting the kinds of people that you and I are more aligned with politically.
Yeah, and I remember that pretty early in the primaries this year, our late brother Michael Brooks told me it's going to come down to Biden and Bernie, right? Because those are the real options, right? And I think that goes to what you're saying about fool me once, right? However Bush twisted up that line, right? Because Biden wasn't really pretending, right? He wasn't rebranding himself as some kind of woke semi-leftist, right? He was just like, yep, this is what you're getting, right? At least we'll go back to normal.
I'm going to get in there and do nothing.
Yeah, he literally said the words, nothing will fundamentally change.
I don't want to do anything. I just want you guys to, what gets underrated in all of this, Ben, is the power in making people feel like they can just go about their lives and know that the country is just going, right? It's almost like you give somebody the keys and you fall asleep in the passenger seat, like, you're going to take me home. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's totally it, right? That's why it came down to Biden and Bernie, and then when the other centrist dropped out, it was Biden, right? Because obviously Bernie represented actual change, and Biden wasn't pretending. He wasn't ambiguous. He wasn't doing the thing the rest of the candidates were doing, where they were trying to somehow maneuver to some point in between. And, I think most people can see through that. No,
he was just saying, I'm not Trump.
Yeah, I'm not Trump. I'll go back to, you remember back when the country wasn't all on fire? Okay, that's what I'm offering you, right? That we can just go back to normal. And that, the thing is, and this, by the way, is why I think it's really naive when I hear some leftists saying, okay, well, if Trump wins, we'll just, whatever, we can have a do-over in 4 years or something. No, after 4 years of Trump, that longing by Democratic voters to go back to normal was already powerful enough to give us Biden, right, as the nominee. What do you think it's going to be like after 8 years of Trump?
Oh, it can go either way, because I think the reason why I brought up the GOP earlier and about how the fringe has become insurgent and taken over, part of that is running who they just consider to be milquetoast Republicans like McCain, like Romney, right? Like you're perfect at, like they were told by the rulers, you nominate these guys, this is the only way you're gonna win. If you nominate the guys that you guys actually want and like and speak directly to you, you're going to lose, right? And they gave them McCain and they gave them Romney and they got their asses kicked. And not only did they get their asses kicked, they got their asses kicked by a Negro.
Right.
So it became this thing of like, why the fuck would we nominate Jeb now? Why do we need Marco Rubio who actually likes Mexicans? Why would we do that? No, we're going to do what we want this time.
Yeah, well, I remember after 2012, the Republicans actually did, what is it, they call it the autopsy?
The autopsy, yes, of course. They said, yo, we could probably get Mexicans on religious stuff, conservative stuff. We could get Latin people on so many things. We should probably try to do that. And then it was like, no, their base was like, no, not on my watch.
Yeah, no, we are going to do Donald Trump.
No chili verde on my watch. We gonna keep eating these Idaho potatoes, Ben. Not on my watch. No, sir. It's gonna be corn on the cob in this party. Get the hell out of here. Trying to put salsa on it. You crazy. Yeah. And I think that's what happened. So I think something similar can happen on the left, or excuse me, I'm trying to get better about calling Democrats the left because they're not. You know? But I think with more diligence, with more targeted races within the Congress, especially, you know, you see stuff like Jamal Bowman, and, you know, sort of the left being more targeted in the Dems that we get to kick out. I think power needs to be acquired slowly but surely on the left. And I think you could get, you know, a plurality of people within the constituency, the coalition that's just like, look, we keep running these, you know, corporate-ass Dems and it doesn't work. Why don't we try to get people excited this time? Why don't we offer people something this time? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.